We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hello and welcome on into, that's not how it's supposed to look, to a new edition of the Cam Show. Welcome on in, Rogue Media Sports Network on this Thursday morning, afternoon on the East Coast. We are live on YouTube as we are high noon Eastern time every weekday, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeping us on the air. We'll hear a little bit from Zach later because today we are starting with the Patriots, and we're talking about some seismic events that are happening around the NFL and really around this division that actually paves the way for the Patriots to be kind of legit AFC East contenders, whether Vegas believes it or not. We're going to tell you why they could very well shock the world this year in 2025. We will also talk about the Red Sox and talk about the future for them because they're starting to get on a bit of a roll here. But this is a really important time in this era of Red Sox baseball. And it's really exciting to see why having all three of the kids up right now is really just propelling them into a very, very bright future for the old Local 9. Plus, we teased this event last week, but Zach and I will break down my jersey wish list coming up in the third segment. A little fun way to end the show. All that and more coming up on this episode of The Cam Show. But we start where we start, the Patriots. All kinds of optimism about the Patriots this year. Mainly around New England, but definitely some national pundits who loved their draft. They love Mike Vrabel. They love Drake May. There are reasons to be optimistic around this Patriots team. I think some people have gone a little overboard. Again, I'm not seeing 11, 12 wins or anything like that. But 2 years ago, we were touting this as the best division in football in the AFC East. That cratered pretty quickly, right? The Dolphins have been massively inconsistent. The Jets have continued to be consistent, and that is not a good thing for them. And it's really been Buffalo and everybody else because the Patriots have sucked big time, right? They've been terrible the last 2 years. So it's been Buffalo, 50 feet of crap, and everything else in the AFC East. And it looks like that probably is what it's going to be like in 2025 as well. I expect Buffalo to win this fairly comfortably, except for when you take some other things about the other teams into account. Vegas has the Dolphins still as the second best team in the AFC East with a plus 200 odds to win this thing and an over-under of 8.5 wins. And I've been saying recently, like, hey, maybe we should take a deeper look at the Dolphins a little bit. And NFL insider, Boston guy, Patriots guy, Albert Breer was on the morning show for 98.5. I believe this was this morning, talking about why we should maybe curb the expectations for the Dolphins a little bit and what he's seeing and not a lot of other people are.
Are they looking to win this year?
I think they're like quietly rebuilding.
Okay.
I think they're quietly resetting their roster. The scary thing to me about this, so like Terron Armstead was their left tackle the last couple of years. They're going to be now he retired. They're going to be relying on a second round pick from a year ago. It's kind of a scary thing. And Patrick Paul. Tyreek Hill, I think Tyreek Hill can be had. If you came to them with a first or a second round pick, I think you could probably get him. Jalen Ramsey's going to be moved. They're older in a lot of different positions. Like, I think this is the beginning of a subtle reset. That the tough thing I think for them is now it's like you're going to maybe find out if Tua can actually carry a team. And I'm not sure that he can.
Things not looking too sunny in Miami. Not literally, of course. But it's not looking too great for the Dolphins. And I've been saying this on the show for the last couple of weeks, and I don't tout myself as this all NFL expert. I pretty much parse every single move the Patriots make. But to me, Miami is no sure shot at 8.5 wins. First off, he mentions there Tua. Can Tua carry a team? I don't think he can either. I don't think he's proven anything to show that he can carry a team. We had similar questions about Josh Allen going into last year, not as glaring, I don't think, and Josh Allen did pretty well for himself. Miami, the other thing is, if Tua can carry a team or not, Tua does not play a full season. He never does, okay? Never. And when you start taking these weapons out of his arsenal, taking these tools out of his tool belt, it doesn't really make for the Mike McDaniel style of football. And the Dolphins really have not achieved shit in this run. They've been one of the most disappointing teams in football, I would say, the last 3-4 seasons for the expectations they've had, the talent they've had on that roster. It has not come together. The only time they look really good is when they're playing the Patriots. And so if Miami is taking a step back, if they're doing a subtle rebuild here, then who's to say the Patriots can't make a run at this thing? This thing being the AFC East, this thing being the postseason. Because when I said earlier it was Buffalo and 50 feet of crap and then everybody else, that's a little tongue-in-cheek. It was Buffalo, 20 feet of crap, Miami, 30 more feet of crap, and then the Jets and the Patriots. But now that gap, that is much slimmer, okay? Like the Patriots, I think, even with their moves this year, and maybe the talent might be better with the Jets, I think the Patriots are a better team than the Jets. I think they're going to have a better season than the Jets do. I do. I don't have any hope in the Justin Fields thing anymore. Again, I know they have a lot of talent around the quarterback position, but they had it last year too. And they had a better quarterback than Justin Fields, and they won 4 fucking games. 5 games, whatever it was. They sucked. They were awful. And so I don't think first-year Aaron Glenn is piecing that thing together with basically running back the talent that they had last year. The Patriots, also have a first-year head coach, also had a bad year last year, but they're not running it back. They went out and spent money in free agency. They had a good draft. They've got a much more comfortable quarterback situation than I think the Jets have in New York. So I'm putting the Jets last. And if this truly does become a bit of a rebuild for Miami, with the schedule the Patriots are playing, would it stun anybody if they finish behind them, if they finish behind the Patriots? Like truly, like let's parse the schedule here. The Patriots, the Dolphins also play the NFC South, but the Patriots play the worst division in the NFC, and they play a last place schedule in the AFC. The Dolphins play a second place schedule. That's going to lead to some exposure. They're going to face some playoff teams that the Patriots aren't facing, and they're going to be facing some teams hungry to make the playoffs after finishing in second in their division last year that the Patriots will not be facing. So that's why the odds are still pretty funny to me. So the Bills are the odds-on favorites, plus 125. The Dolphins plus 200. The Jets plus 300. And then the Patriots sit all the way down here in fourth, way down in fourth. Again, the Jets plus 300. The Patriots plus 2,000. How does that work? Or more importantly, how does this next part work? The over-unders for the win total, according to Vegas in the AFC East. Buffalo, 11.5. Dolphins, 8.5. The Jets, 5.5. That's a big, that's a 3-win difference between plus 200 and plus 300. And then you get to the Patriots at plus 2,000 odds with an over-under of 7.5 wins. Vegas is giving the Patriots 2 more wins than the Jets. Yet the Jets are at plus 300. The Patriots are at plus 2,000. What? I'm no huge gambler, and I'm no huge math nut. I don't know how that works out. I don't know how that's that big a discrepancy. By the way, the last team in the AFC East to win it with more than plus 200 odds was the Dolphins back in 2008 at plus 2,500. Just worse than the Patriots this year. If we are to believe what Burt Breer says, and the Dolphins are in something of a rebuild mode here, or at least kickstarting their rebuild, and could potentially be getting rid of, the best player on their team, Tyreek Hill, and are replacing a bunch of guys from last year, then there's no reason the Patriots can't slot into second place in this division. There's really not. And again, I don't want to be one of those guys that gets caught up and starts talking about 12 wins. I don't think that's going to be there. I think second place in this division is 9-8. And if you're someone who is sitting like, no, the Dolphins over on the 8.5 wins, second place in this division, well ahead of the Patriots, there's just a lot of you think about how many things need to be answered for the Patriots in order for them to be a good team, right? That offensive line needs to take a major step. Steph Diggs needs to be healthy. Drake May needs to take a step. Those defensive pieces need to come together for it to be a top 10 defense. Like, all those things still need to be answered. But when you look at the Miami thing and you want Miami to be a 9 or 10 win team, comfortably second place in this division, they've got to answer a lot of questions as well that they really haven't answered over the last few years. They need Tua to carry them, right? That hasn't been answered. They need to win on the road. That's been answered in a bad way for Miami. They need to bolster their offensive line, much like the Patriots do. I don't think that's been answered. They need to make decisions on their long-term future and how it's going to affect this short term, a.k.a. guys like Tyreek Hill. Those haven't been answered. So as much as the Patriots have a ton of questions, Miami has probably just as many. They haven't been terrible the last few years, but have they underachieved? Of course they have. Definitely they have. And again, the biggest offseason move that the Patriots made, I think far and away, was bringing in Mike Vrabel. I think that's the guy that changes a lot of things for the Patriots. I don't have any exact formula as to how this happens, but I think bringing in a guy like Mike Vrabel, looking at the team you had last year, that's adding a win or two, at least. I mean, again, we had the damning quotes. I think it was Kendrick Bourne who said it, of like, we didn't even know what the game plan was last year. We were just kind of guessing Friday, Saturday, guessing what the game plan was against this team who were playing on Sunday. That was the Gerard Mayo experience. Mike Vrabel, maybe I'm expecting too much of him. I think Mike Vrabel is going to have a game plan. Okay? I think Mike Vrabel is going to know how he wants to attack other NFL teams. All right? I think Mike Vrabel is going to get people on the same page. I think he knows how to manage a clock as well. And I don't think he's going to keep passing the buck. Gerard Mayo did all those things. Mike Vrabel, just alone by himself, added to this Patriots team, adds a couple wins to your schedule. So maybe I am drinking the Kool-Aid too much. I was sitting here thinking I was being realistic about this. 9, 10 wins, maybe 10 wins. Like really optimistic 10 wins. Maybe I am drinking the Kool-Aid because I do think they're going to have a better season than the Jets. What have the Jets done for me to think, oh yeah, no, this is the year. They'll be good. They'll win 11 games. Like, what have they done for me to say that? What have they done for anybody to say that? Oh, they got much more talent than the Patriots. Sure shit, they did last year. They lost to the Patriots. They had just as many wins. You know, like, okay, great. You subtracted a Hall of Fame quarterback who, of course, was not on top of his game last year. But you have the same amount of talent. You just subtract the Hall of Fame quarterback and bring in a first-round bust. Okay, yeah, sure. This is the year then. Pick the Jets, sure. Miami, Tua, doesn't play a full season, and now he's got to carry a team. He's got less weapons than he's ever had, especially if Tyreek Hill goes, which has been a rumor all offseason, by the way. This was not just Burt Breer just throwing that out there and seeing if it sticks on June 12th. That's been a rumor all offseason long. So, yeah, sure, if all those things fall into place like they never have before, then, yeah, Miami will probably be a 10-win team, 11-win team. But the reality is this. They don't often do that. Tua does not stay healthy for a full season. The Jets don't live up to expectations when they're expected to be good. And suddenly the Patriots are in a pretty decent position. They're not Buffalo, but shit, man, you take one of those games against Buffalo, like you've split the last 2 years. People forget. Really wish they didn't last year. But if you split that series against Buffalo, you're probably in the picture in December. And again, I feel I'm being optimistic at 9 or 10 wins, but I don't think it's crazy to think with this schedule that the Patriots have and this new coach and the franchise quarterback that you have, they should be in that 9 or 10 win discussion. And they absolutely should be in a wild card discussion by December when the games really start to matter. Like they should be in this. So if we're to believe an NFL insider here and the Dolphins are slowly, silently going into a rebuild, that really opens the door for the Patriots, I think, a lot quicker than a lot of people thought. So it's fun to just be like, oh, yeah, well, they got Drake May and he was really good. But when we look at this analytically from the rest of the division, they're going to need to grow up pretty fast here because they can absolutely be in this race come Thanksgiving and then early December where Belichick used to say, it's where it all starts, baby. It's where it all starts. And again, maybe it's me being naive. I'm buying into what Vrabel's doing so far. I think he is establishing a culture. I think he is establishing accountability. And I think you're going to see some major moves, roster moves, like shocking roster moves at the end of training camp. Javon Baker, man, guy they were so high on last year. Like, he didn't have a single catch in minicamp. I don't know how the fuck that's possible. Like, they're playing catch out there. It's like 7-on-7 in high school. And he didn't have a single catch. He's a wide receiver. He didn't have a catch. His ass is going to get cut. And you look down the line, another receiver they drafted last year, Jalen Polk. Second round pick, second pick of the second round in 2024. You think that kid's going to have some rope? I don't know if he will under Mike Vrabel. If he has another shit preseason, he's gone. He's done. And that's the thing that I think is different about this team more than anything, is I think Vrabel is not afraid to make those moves. That's, again, where Vrabel taps into the Belichick. He's not a Belichick guy. He's not a Belichick disciple. He played for him, but he never coached under him. He coached under a bunch of other guys not named Bill Belichick. But where he does bring in the Belichick that you want is that accountability, the way he can talk to and coach players and not take any shit. That's what the Patriots need right now after what we've seen the last 2 years. They need a guy who won't take any shit and can get guys to play for him. And I think Vrabel can do that. And as Keon White so now famously said, now we have a coach. Let me know what you guys think. Can the Patriots make a real push in the AFC East? Are they better than Miami? They don't beat Miami ever, but are they better than the Dolphins this year? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're optimistic about this Patriots season, we'll come at you live every weekday, live at high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air. Check out the other YouTube videos on the channel, talking about Patriots and everything else Boston sports, because that's all we're doing every single weekday. Coming up next, let's talk about the Red Sox. Let's talk about the old hometown nine a little bit and why this month, this era right here, right now, should cause some serious excitement for Red Sox Nation. Let's talk about it next on The Cam Show.
We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
At Fullwell, we bring together the expertise of registered dietitians, MDs, and OBGYNs to give you the best fertility support. Our research-backed bioavailable formulas are crafted with your health in mind, ensuring the highest quality and safety. From preconception to pregnancy and beyond, we exceed industry standards with independent testing for harmful contaminants. With our comprehensive practitioner directory, personalized care is always within reach. Fullwell, your trusted partner on your fertility journey. Visit us at fullwellfertility.com. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. We put every machine through 6,000 rigorous tests to guarantee long-lasting performance. With cutting-edge technology and a commitment to energy efficiency, Gevi makes your life easier, greener, and more convenient. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more. That's gevi.com.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. We use the finest materials like Italian top-grain leather, known for its durability and luxurious feel, and apply meticulous attention to detail in every piece we create. Our replicas are crafted with the same care and precision as the originals, but a price that makes them accessible. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. Using advanced tech fabrics that are 100% waterproof, UV tear, and abrasion-resistant, we ensure lasting durability with hand-sewn double-stitch seams. Our commitment to quality, precision engineering, and customizable options is unmatched. With vertically integrated operations and express shipping, we deliver premier protection at affordable prices. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
And now, back to our show.
Back to the show that is The Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air 5 days a week. We talked about the Patriots in segment one. We're going to hear from Zach a little bit in segment 3, in that he's going to judge me a little bit. We're going to give you the wish list of the top 5 hockey jerseys I want next, because that's become another character in and of itself on this show. And so Zach is going to judge me, tell me which ones are cool, which ones aren't. I really trust him on those kind of things. We talked about the Patriots and why they could be competing in the AFC East this year, why they could be overtaking Miami. And now we switch to the Red Sox, who, have not impressed many this year, but they have overtaken Miami. They are better than Miami in this sport. That's for sure. The Red Sox right now, it feels like the Red Sox are back in a groove. Okay, they've won back-to-back series, both in the division. They really should have swept Tampa. They kind of threw that first game away. And now they get a big weekend series with the Yankees. And if you take this series, you're back in this thing. You're three games out of the wild card right now. But what's really most exciting about this right here, right now, like staying in the moment. Red Sox fans, if you want to get on the bandwagon, do it right now. Because this is the time. This is the beginning of the future for this franchise. When you look roster-wise, they've got a lot to be happy about. There's an impending Jaren Duran trade. Sure, there's Alex Bregman. Is he going to come back next year? That'll be a huge question. But right now, man, you've got all 3 of the kids up. You've got all 3 of them in the lineup most every day. Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, Christian Campbell. They're all here. And for the most part, they're all performing. Like, this is a really exciting time for the Red Sox, man. We need it to, they need to string together some more wins. This is the first back-to-back series wins they've had in a month. So it needs to get better, but they're starting to look better. And these kids are starting to look like major leaguers. And there's going to be bumps in the road, right? Christian Campbell's kind of just coming out of a huge bump in the road. That's what's going to happen. These guys were kind of rushed through the minor league system in a good way. This is where they can learn up here. And it's just enthralling to see all these kids finally up and in the lineup together every day. We're going to look back on this in a couple of years when they're winning World Series championships with this trio, and we're going to be looking back and thinking June 2025, man. That's where it all started. And, Christian Campbell was having a bit of a bump in the road. He is coming out of it, man. He's got an OPS over 900 the last week. I think there is something to, like, these kids playing together, like they're on the same team again. Campbell, Meyer, Anthony. They weren't always on the same team in the minors, but they had a lot of overlap. They were the 3 coming up together, right? Them and Kyle Teal. Of course, Kyle Teal gets traded for Garrett Crochet. But these guys were always kind of together. They really seemed to bond in spring training. And now they're in the clubhouse together. Now they're in the everyday lineup together. They're figuring this out together. And the early results are still pretty good, man. Christian Campbell, overall, still looks like a pro player. I know he struggled the last month. Marcelo Meyer, 2 home runs last night. Roman Anthony, he's only got a couple of hits, but he certainly doesn't look out of place. Let's just say that. He's the number 1 prospect in baseball. And how about Carlos Narvaez, man? Hitting cleanup, catching for you every day. What a revelation he is. He's going to be the one out of these guys that wins the Rookie of the Year as a 26, 27-year-old. That the Yankees gave up on. He's the guy of this. Maybe it's a core 4. Maybe we need to steal some Yankee terminology, some Maple Leafs terminology. Maybe it's a core 4. Maybe it's not a triplets, a trio. And maybe that Kyle Teal trade for Garrett Crochet looks even better because you have a real major leaguer with plenty of team control in Carlos Narvaez. See what I mean? Like, it's looking up here. It is looking up. And you look at them right now, like, look, if they just get to 500, we're still in not even mid-June yet. Right? If they get to 500, there's a lot of baseball left. And they're 2 games under. There's a ton of baseball, man. You get to 500 in June, like, of course you're in the mix. Most teams are, but you're still in there. With the 3 wild cards now, man, this team was supposed to be a postseason team, and they can still be that. They're going to have these kids hitting the ground running, playing every day, and you're going to get Alex Bregman back at some point. And then you're going to have plenty of options, right? Meyer can play his real position at shortstop. Story can play second. Christian Campbell can play first because apparently he's been taking ground balls there. Or he could be sent down. I'm not one of those people who thinks, oh my gosh, he'll be ruined forever if you send him down to learn some things. I don't believe that either. But I think he probably does stay on the Major League roster. Here's where I've just pumped the Red Sox tires for 5 or 6 minutes here. Here's where I'm going to get bummed. Here's where I'm going to get peeved a little bit at the Red Sox and the handling of these kids. Because this weekend is crucial. Okay, they're 2 games under 500. They've got the Yankees in town. They just won back-to-back series. One of them was against the Yankees. And New York's going to throw 3 left-handed starters against them in all likelihood this weekend. How do you play these kids? You got 2 of these kids being lefties, Meyer and Anthony. Cora hates playing young kids against left-handed starters. I don't know what the obsession is. I thought this was an analytics-based team, but they clearly ignore the analytics because if they don't play Roman Anthony all 3 games this weekend, that will show us that they are ignoring the analytics. Roman Anthony in AAA this year against left-handed pitchers, a 367 average, a 969 OPS. His OPS is about 100 points higher against lefties than it is against righties. So if they're not willing to play him against left-handers in the major leagues, then what are we doing? What are we doing here? This is what bugs me from the very beginning of this. Why are we bringing these kids up to be platoon guys if they can't play against lefties? When are they going to learn? That's what I always didn't understand. When are they going to learn to hit against lefties if you don't let them? Right? Like, to me, that's so backwards. That's so counterproductive. And again, it goes back to some of the bullshit comments that Craig Breslow mainly had in this spring. Remember what he said about Roman Anthony? Where he said, look, we're not gonna bring him up if he can't play every day. My brother in Christ, you guys are the ones that aren't letting them play every day. You're the ones that say they can't hit against lefties, and that's Meyer and Anthony. Why is that? You're the one controlling that. And then it went back to like, oh, can we find a spot in the lineup for him? Really? Or back when Tristan Casas got hurt. Oh, we can't call up one of these kids and have them play first base. That will ruin them. We can't call them up and play them out of position. The 2 guys they've called up since then, Marcelo Meyer, shortstop, is playing third base. And Roman Anthony, left fielder, maybe center fielder, but probably a left fielder, playing right field. To the point where his second day in the major leagues, he's out there being taught by the coaches how to field ground balls in the outfield. So bullshit, man. You don't care about playing them out of position. And worse than that, you're not teaching them positions at the minor league level. And it's not just the Red Sox, it's all teams. But Lou had a great point. Lou Merlone was like freaking out about this on the broadcast the other night when they had Alex Spear on. And he's like, why is Roman Anthony learning ground balls in the outfield now? I know he's young, but he was playing in the minor leagues. Like, why doesn't he know this by now? Why doesn't he know that, he needs to get in front of it rather than field it to the side? Like, that's high school shit. And he's learning it in day 2 in the major leagues. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that this Red Sox front office is saying, no, we can't bring up these kids and play them out of position and then play both of them out of position. And a drastic case in Roman Anthony. Day 1 in the major leagues of pussyfooting around it for weeks and months and saying, oh, he's not ready. Oh, we can't come and play him out of position. Oh, we don't think we can fit him in the lineup every day. And then you put him in the toughest right field in all of baseball. Like, genuinely maybe the toughest defensive outfield position to play in the entire sport is right field at Fenway Park. And they just throw him in day 1. Like, it's brutal, man. They just lied to you. We knew they were lying to us, but that confirmed they just lied to you like for weeks and months that they can't bring these kids up because of X, Y, and Z, and none of them made sense. But this weekend is going to be one hell of a test. I'm not saying we got must-win June. I'm not saying we have must-win games in the middle of June. But you got another divisional series with the Yankees. This is your 3rd straight. You've won the first 2. You have a real chance to get back in the picture here in mid-June. They're going to throw 3 lefties at you. One of them being pretty damn good, and Max Fried. Are you willing to to call these kids Major League Baseball players and play them against the left-handed starters, because trust me, they're still a better option than Romy Gonzalez. Definitely a better option than David Hamilton. And, Rob Refsnyder's still a good guy to have against lefties. I'll give you that. Still. They're better than Romy. They're better than whomever else you're going to put in the outfield for Roman Anthony. Trust me, they are. So let's see. This weekend's huge. But what this right now that we're living in is the future. That picture is going to be huge. Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, the fireworks. That is the future of your ball club right there. And they're all on the Major League roster, batting right beside each other in the lineup every day. This is exciting. But if you don't play them and you get your ass swept this weekend, best believe there's going to be some more calling for the manager. Because right now, the kids are doing a lot of good things. The team's doing a lot of good things. The manager's not. I don't know that the GM is. But the players out there, they're hooking us all back in, man. Because I'm kind of cautiously back in here. Let's put it that way. I'm cautiously back in. How do you feel? Do you feel this is the future of the Red Sox playing out right in front of us? Do you think they're a playoff team again? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you think the Red Sox are about to take off. We talk about them and everything Boston sports live on YouTube every weekday, high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. So check out the other videos on the channel, talking Red Sox and everything else Boston sports. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air 5 days a week. Speaking of Zach Burke, we're going to have him coming up. This is Judgment Day, but it's for me. And Zach's going to be doing the judging. We have my hockey jersey wish list coming up next on The Cam Show.
We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
I don't know, if Bubble wasn't here, I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. Bubble allows you to make it real and for it to actually work. So I feel like Bubble bridges that gap and being able to give people the opportunity to make their ideas come to life really quickly too. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built and have the control over it.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
Hi, I'm Jo from Face Theory. You're going to want to have a specific goal for your skincare routine. What do you want to achieve? Active ingredients are really strong, and if you're using too many at once, your skin can get overwhelmed. Don't overspend on products. Choose products that have scientific research behind them. At Face Theory, if you're not happy with a product, just say so, just give us a shout and we'll give you your money back, no problem.
I know you're gonna love this Kodak Dot Plus printer. You guys just connect it to your smartphone and then you're gonna use the Kodak Photo Print app. It's going to print you a 4x6 photo. I am just in awe. I love how these turned out. Also, the printer comes with a free cartridge of 10 photo sheets. I can assure you, you are going to love this printer as much as my family has. You guys have to check it out for yourself.
Streamline event and appointment booking with Amelia's sleek, modern, and fully customizable booking forms. Tailor the colors, fonts, and design to match your brand and seamlessly integrate with your WordPress website. Whether it's for events or appointments, Amelia makes booking simple, stylish, and perfectly aligned with your business. Enhance your booking experience today at WPAmelia.com. That's WPAMELIA.com. Amelia.
And now, back to our show.
Back to our show, The Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network. It's a very special segment time. I would love to bring in, if I could, my lovely producer, confidant, and friend, Zach Burke. There he is.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
I made sure to wear the hockey hat today.
I like that, man. I like that. I like that. No Senators are going to appear on this list, though. Although I do like Senators jerseys. I do.
Oh, thank you. There's something a little like classic about them in a way.
Yeah, I like that they went back to sort of that 90s look. I don't love typically when teams go backwards, but I do like that one. It's just a good solid look. And I actually didn't think the ones they had before were that bad. I know that was pretty divisive. A lot of people didn't like kind of that more realistic Senators look. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like.
I'm for both of them. Like they haven't had jerseys that I didn't really like, just hated. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of just the giant O, but like I get how like that's how the old jersey. Yeah, I get it. That's fine. The Ottawa Senators that they're not related to, those jerseys.
Right. The different Ottawa.
Yeah,
the
ones
OG
that,
Ottawa
the ones that won.
That won Stanley Cups. Yes. Yes. Did it. Yeah. Won a couple. So Zach, we kind of talked about this last week. By the way, we will have our segment tomorrow as well. This does not replace that.
Oh, okay.
But we talked about kind of last week. We teased it when I brought the Gretzky jersey on, the Kings Gretzky jersey. You were like, do you have others on the docket? And I'm like, man, I got a whole list in my head. And now I'm putting it to paper.
I'm ready for this.
I'm putting it to paper here. Mm-hmm. And I took them all from customthrowbackjerseys.com. I did that for two reasons. A, I think they're the best jersey provider out there. And I've gotten two of my favorite jerseys. And that Gretzky one, it came from eBay, but it almost certainly could have originally come from this website because they're so good at this. And B, I really hope that they see this somehow and offer me a $2,500 gift card so I can buy 10 jerseys.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, look, I'll give them the free pub, man. I will absolutely do that. Absolutely. I mean, I'm about to do it. So they all come from here. I'm going to give you a couple of honorable mentions before I give you my top five.
Okay.
And it's really kind of no particular order because the top three are all Bruins jerseys. They're all going to be hockey jerseys. Okay. They're all hockey jerseys. They're all vintage in some way. And Zach, I'm looking for your opinion on all of these. Okay. We talked about this first honorable mention a little bit last week, but I just think this is the wacky design that I think is very cool. And that is this baby.
Yeah.
The old 96 St. Louis Blues Wayne Gretzky jersey.
So I completely forgot about these until you brought them up last week. And if I'm being honest, they scream 90s to me.
Oh, yeah.
And not necessarily in the best way. But I've seen far worse. Like when MLB decided to do that, like turn the clock forward. Yeah, those are way worse. I get this. Like I'm not going to knock it and say it's a bad jersey, but it is not one that I
mean, you can. Yeah, it's not for everybody. You can.
It's very I will say it's a very divisive jersey, but I will probably say I think this is going to be the ugliest jersey on your list.
Okay. This was an interesting kind of one in Blues history because they really started to incorporate red in like the early 80s, but also only as like a trim. And obviously they went with a lot of red on this one. I like kind of the shoulder patches that you can't really see there, which is the horn. But the numbers, I think that's really bold. I like that they did that. And Gretzky comes in mid-season. He only plays for them for like a month, and he was automatically handed the captaincy, which I think is just kind of a cool bit. So I do have a Mikko Rantanen Hurricanes jersey. So to continue on with that, like this guy only played there for a couple of weeks kind of theme, I think that would be really cool. Other one, this is pretty basic. This next honorable mention.
And can I just add one more thing? Oh,
yes.
Sorry. When we go to this, is how smushed. I didn't notice until looking at it now. That first 9 is. Yeah. It's like just squished there at the top of it.
This is crazy, man. Second honorable mention, pretty basic, but just a classic look. Love Gordie Howe. Really would love to have a Gordie Howe jersey. I really like the white Red Wings one, but I already have a white Red Wings jersey, so I would go with the classic red. No name on the back because they didn't have it when he was playing there. You know who number 9 is. I mean, that's to me. This is just classic. Nothing. No. Not too many bells and whistles to it.
I can get behind this. There's always to me a soft spot. I love just the plain, clean, just classic looking jerseys. It's like I'm not a Guardians fan, but just the red C on the blue hat. There's something about that. There's something just very clean and just basic about this Red Wings jersey where it is. There's no name. It's just, red and white. You have the logo, the C, the 9. It's classic and it's perfect. I'm behind this all the way.
The other thing too, that you'll probably understand this reference. My girlfriend and I have thought about doing a couple's costume because she loves The Simpsons, like is obsessed. Yeah. It's not like The Simpsons too. But there's an episode where Miss Krabappel has a pen pal. Actually Bart's doing it.
Yes.
Back, and he uses a picture of Gordie Howe as whatever his name is.
Yeah.
As the pen pal. And so we've thought about doing that where she's Krabappel and I'm Gordie Howe. They put like the stats up at the end of it. We'll stick with this team for the last we'll mention, and that is this chaotic beauty. that the Red Wings put out in 1992 for the 75th anniversary of the NHL. I've always wanted this jersey as a Steve Yzerman one because he's one of my favorite players of all time. But I do have a Steve Yzerman jersey, so I've gone with the Nick Lidstrom here. This would have been like his rookie year. Would have been really early on. I don't typically love when a team has a great logo and they take it off. Like the Red Wings have one of the 2 or 3 best logos in the league, and they've taken it off. But I love the white on white, basically, with some red candy cane. I don't know. This one's always gotten me.
So I hate
me in the right spots.
I hate the front of it where it just says Detroit because you're right. They have a great logo. But the more I look at the back with the white, with the red outline, like it's growing on me more and more.
Sucks for an announcer.
Oh,
Sucks
for sure.
A play-by-play guy.
No,
but,
if I'm having to call those games, I hate it. But I like the way it looks. It has me on the back half, front half, not so much. But I can, honorable mention still good. It's a solid one.
There's also a great Blackhawks one from the 75th anniversary that's somewhat similar that I thought about putting on here, and I probably should have. But love Nick Lidstrom. Love the Red Wings uniforms. Of course, this is a little bit different. Now let's go to the top 5. Okay? Now we're getting back to, in the top 5, we're going to get back to kind of some wacky designs rather than a classic look.
Oh, those Blackhawk ones look nice.
I know, dude. I would love an Ed Belfour or a Jeremy Roenick one. I have a Chris Chelios jersey, so I won't go that one. Anyway, number 5, Buffalo Sabres, the Dominator, Dominic Hasek, the old goat head logo. I haven't really decided whether white or black jersey. I think the white, it pops just a little bit more, so I put that as the picture. I think these are great, honestly.
So, this is one, and I have it on where I can't see your top 3, but I know what your next one's going to be. And I just know these two are very much like childhood for me, of like when I think
right
of,
up your alley.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially this one, and especially Hasek. I, as a kid in Texas, can tell you I knew a minimal amount of goalies, but I knew who Dominic Hasek was, even, exactly. So, and I just think of how dominant he was in the games I'd watch. And I remember pretending I've never told you this story, Cam. We had, me and my brothers, a small little net and like a little, they came with a puck, but it was plastic puck and sticks. You couldn't,
like a little knee hockey set.
Exactly. Yeah. And we would play in our driveway, and I would pretend to be Dominic Hasek, and I would play goal.
Hell yeah.
So this jersey for sure is top notch, and it would be one of my top 5 ones too. I love it.
It's just a beauty. It's tough to find these. Of course, customthrowbackjerseys.com has all that you can think of. As long as they're not in rotation right now, they've got it. And this is another one where, like the Sabres, I have a Sabres jersey, actually. I'm not a Sabres fan, but when you do like that kind of royal blue with the gold, it's a fantastic look. And they went out of left field to bring in this uniform. I don't know that it was as beloved at the time as it is now, but I think it's a great use of some pretty basic colors. I think it's fantastic. That's number 5.
This kind of came around the same time that the Islanders tried their revamp, though, too, didn't it?
Well, yeah. So interesting you point this out. There's the early to mid 90s. Every team in the NHL tries something new. They all put in an alternate jersey, which we'll get to one of the other ones later on this list. And a bunch of them rebrand when the Mighty Ducks come in and the Sharks come in. Specifically, the Sharks become this like just darling of sports apparel and fashion. Everybody loves the teal and the silver and some black in there. Same thing with the Mighty Ducks. It's this weird logo. It's teal and purple. So it becomes like we start pulling things out of left field. If you look at all the teams that come in any league in the 90s, there's some of that, right? The Florida Marlins, the Colorado Rockies, the Baltimore Ravens, like it's purple and teal and black.
The Charlotte Hornets,
the Charlotte
Miami
Hornets.
Heat there in the 80s when they came. Yeah, it's that.
Absolutely, man. You're nailing it. You're getting it. So this is kind of one of the tamer ones of a rebrand. But yes, the Islanders go with the Gorton's Fisherman look. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. The Kings go back to having a lot of purple in their uniforms. There's a ton. You can go up and down the list of these teams rebranding and at least putting in some pretty cool alternates.
True.
This next one is a team that rebranded around that time, but just not very drastically and with those colors. Number 4, we take you back to the defunct Hartford Whalers, Chris Pronger, jersey. So they were obviously basically just green and white for a long time. So this is a bit of the rebrand, silver, navy. And a lot of people swear by the green and white uniforms. I think they're fine. I loved when they added a lot of navy here. This was the road jerseys. The white one looks really good too. I don't know why exactly, but like that silver H in the negative space there on the jersey. I love navy and green. I actually really think it's cool when the Canucks did that too. I love this uniform. And Chris Pronger, albeit a prick, one of the great defensemen of all time. So that's who I would go with.
Yeah, no, I will say, obviously, I'm not the world's biggest hockey fan, just more like I know that I have room to grow and things learn.
Sure.
I recognize
that's okay. Yeah.
I get that. No. I'm going to say something. So like, obviously there's Senators players I would love jerseys of. A jersey as a whole of just the way it looks. The Hartford Whalers jerseys might be I always loved the color combo. Like you said, the blue and the green with the silver H. It just looks so clean and so great to the point of where I think it works for all of their apparel, even though they're not a team anymore. My father-in-law, who is, I don't know, maybe watched one hockey game in his entire life, owns a Hartford Whalers shirt because it looks so it just looks so good.
And I do have on my eBay watch list a hat, which is this. It's navy with this specific Whalers logo. Yeah. It's just awesome, man. It's just so good. And I don't like Connecticut in any way, but I am bummed out that they don't have a team. Like it's just all the things we don't love about sports. Hartford and Quebec City at the same time losing their teams, not because they're not passionate enough, but because they're too small. Like that just sucks. And specifically Quebec. I mean, they really supported that team. They were just too small. Hartford did have its troubles selling season tickets. But yeah, Chris Pronger, man, one of the great defensemen of all time, starting his career with the Hartford Whalers, which, by the way, very quick aside, this has nothing to do with the jerseys at all. But we went to trivia last night, bar trivia, and the place was packed. And I swear to God, Grace and I were playing. We must have been the only ones that got this question right. Somehow, it was like a general knowledge question. It was Hall of Famer Randy Johnson made his major league debut in 1988 with what team?
Oh, it's the Montreal Expos, isn't it?
The Montreal Expos is correct, Zach. I don't think anybody else got it. Because when you think of Randy Johnson, you're not thinking of the Expos at all. I have a bunch of his rookie cards, actually. I think 4 of them.
I think I have one too.
So I did know that. And I was just like, why is this like this at a baseball trivia is a difficult question. You know what I mean? Like this is not like Barry Bonds played like 7 years with the Pirates. Like that's not this. That was wild. It was like this theater girl doing it with a bunch of, people just doing general trivia. So anyway, let's get into the top 3. We're all in the Bruins jerseys now, just to burst the bubble. Number 3, which is what we talked about last week, Patrice Bergeron, Pooh Bear. From his rookie year, so that's why there's no letter, no A, definitely no C. A classic. I know a lot of people hate it, so maybe you do too. I friggin' love the Pooh Bear jersey. Even though you take off one of the great logos in all of sports, the Spoked Bee, is just, I don't know. It's just fucking phenomenal for me. And it's right into my childhood.
Okay. See, I don't like, that's the thing. I get the nostalgic part of it for sure. Cause that's what some of the other jerseys are for me that adds to it. I just personally, there's parts of it I don't mind. I like the colors. The 2 things that do stick out to me that I feel maybe might be other people's problems too is the Bruins on the shoulders.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'd rather them just gone with some sort of logo.
Exactly. But the eyes of the bear for some reason make it seem
they
just
speak to you, don't they?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's saying like "Let's go Bruins" or if it's like trying to whisper me into killing somebody. Like they look dead a little bit.
This was a very controversial jersey when it came out, as you might be able to expect, because people were like, "What is this? This bear is not intimidating at all. Like you don't put the actual Bruins logo anywhere on this jersey." It pops. It just pops. I love it. I love it. So, this one might be the next one I have to get, even though it's number 3 on this list, because I've just been talking about it for years. I got the white one that they did the reverse retro 2 years ago, two seasons
bear?
ago. Yeah, it's all the same. It's just the gold is now white. Gotcha. And the white trim around the numbers is gold. And it looked really good. So I do have one of those. So maybe I can wait a little longer, but love that. Next two, Zach, are really from the same set. They're my favorite home and away jerseys the Bruins have ever had. It sounds like they're going to rebrand this summer and go to something similar to this. But let's start with what was the away black jersey, number 2, Ray Bork. I don't know exactly why this is my favorite. I just think this is the best Bruins look they've ever had. To me, there's just enough gold to black ratio. Like what they do with the jerseys now, what they did in the 70s, which also looked pretty good. I do have a Bobby Orr 70s one, was they had the big gold like shoulder plates up top. And I just think this looks way better to have it black. Like your colors are black. And that makes the gold on the back really pop. And it's popped better on this jersey than anything else. I love the meth bear on the shoulders. I love the cap. I love having a Captain C on a jersey. And what I really like about this is Ray Bork number 7, but before he goes to number 77, which he wore number 7 for 8 years. And I like a single digit uniform. It's nice to lay down when I'm watching TV on the couch, to have one letter or one number below me rather than 2. And I think it's unique that way. Every Ray Bork jersey you'll see is number 77, which he wore for the last 13 years of his Bruins career. So more popular. That's the number he has retired. I think it's cooler to have number 7 on there instead. What is it?
That was Pete.
Thanks, Pete. Anyway, you have any thoughts on this one, Zach? I know it's not the coolest one.
Yeah, no. It's I like the way, like you talked about how the gold like pops.
And the logo in particular. Sorry, they've gone to this one the last 20 years or so that has the black B. I love the gold B. You see it.
No, for sure.
Behind me too. I think that pops more too.
I like that too. I think that it adds like more, like you said, contrast to the black and just makes it the gold when it's there pops. I too also enjoy looking at all these after you made the argument for a single digit jersey. And I'm looking at the other ones that we have here with, obviously Gretzky's 99 is iconic and will always will be. But even like, the Pronger 44, the single digit just does look cleaner and nicer. So I'm with you there.
Yeah. And that 44 is wide. That's really wide.
But like this looks really clean.
So when we get to number 1, it's also going to be a single digit one. And it probably is the next one I'll buy once I know what my address is going to be in 2 months. And that is the home version of this set. Cam Neely, number 8. One of my top 3 or 4 favorite Bruins of all time. I think he's doing a really shitty job as the president right now, but
is it because you share a namesake at all too?
It might be. Look, it might be. Just the consummate Bruin, man. Power forward. And the white jersey has really grown on me the last few years when I've started to watch on YouTube like these full playoff games that they played in the late 80s, early 90s. It just looks fantastic up close and personal. So I don't have a better explanation necessarily for this one. I've gone back and forth on which one I like more, the black or the white version of this. Today it's the white version. But I will be getting both at some point. Pretty much, though, the same thing as what I said about the Ray Bork one. I just think this is the best Bruins home and away combo they've ever had.
I will say I do really like the yellow then around. I mean, obviously it was on the last one too with the black around the B, but I think like the yellow also around the B, then into the spokes. Like it looks really nice on the front too.
Yes. And I like on the white ones, which a lot of Bruins jerseys have done, that black towards the end of the sleeve. I don't know why I like that. I just think that's a nice little look. And I like the meth bear on the shoulder. I also like that they're not doing anything crazy with the collars. Like I don't need, like now in these jerseys, they've got kind of the faux strings. Yeah. I don't need that. I don't really need the regular strings. I like when they do that for like old school jerseys when they play in like the Winter Classic. It's supposed to look old. But I think a regular collar like that is just fine. So
a lot of CCM jerseys I'm noticing.
All CCM, man. That's all custom throwback jerseys does, by the way. It's also the jerseys that I like the most for sure. I think Fanatics and Adidas have done a fine job. I do have a bunch of those. Reebok Starter, while it does great sports gear, has terrible fucking hockey jerseys. Never get a Starter hockey jersey. That's a word of advice. But yeah, they're all CCM.
Fun.
Yes, get all the jackets, man. Do it. Even some of the hats, they're pretty good. Real quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There they are. Zach, that's going to cost me a lot of money.
Oh, that's going to cost you a lot of money. Well, until they give you the gift card for
until they give me the gift card. One of those, like, you ever see like the old players at MLB, they have like the gold thing that can get them into any ballpark at any time. That's what it's going to be for me. Look, dude, I will show them off, man. I'll do a partnership. I will do whatever it takes. CustomThrowbackJerseys.com. If you're listening, I will do that. Anyway, thanks, Zach. Appreciate you being honest. Like, if you don't like him, you don't like him, man.
Yeah, no, the Detroit one, I think actually the Blues one is still my least favorite out of all of them. But there's some wild ones in there. That,
by the way, we just listed off 8 right there. That's about $2,000 right there. I'll say, like, bro, 250, 240, I think is what they're actually listed at, with free shipping, and it takes about 2 months, whatever. That is no small chunk of change for me. I'm not trying to act like that. That is big. But what I will say is, if you're looking to get a jersey from there, you are getting the absolute best. It's like Five Guys, man. It's expensive as shit, but you're getting the best. Like, you're getting what you pay for. So anyway, thanks, Zach. Appreciate that. And thank you guys for listening. I got to cut it off now because we're way over time. But thank you. Let me know what jersey I should get next. Let me know in the comment section below which one was your favorite. And we will see you tomorrow on a little ditty that we like to call The Cam Show.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. We understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit TwoSains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.